Guys, welcome to this episode. Today I'm going to be talking about why the Canon 5D is probably the most satisfying camera ever to be built. It's got such good shelf life, it's got such good battery life, and it's got such good build quality. This is a Canon 7D, and I have to admit I've had this camera for about 10 years. 10 years I've had this camera, and it's still going. The shutter count's probably ridiculously high. But the beauty of this camera is that it is a work machine. So if you're looking for a camera that is a work machine that is going to let you take photographs, and you're going to go into terrains and environments that's going to be really difficult for you to sort of navigate through, I would strongly suggest you get yourself one of these. This is an old camera. It's not Wi-Fi. It's not got massive amounts of ISO. It's not touchscreen. It's not got 4K recording. However, as a photographer or filmmaker, it's you know, the sensor produces some very stunning images in good light. You know, it works. I think it works really well in good light. Not as well in low light, but in good light it works really well. And that's because obviously the ISO goes to a certain amount. It's got your hot shoe, so you can attach a flash on there, and obviously you can attach your lens. So if you've got a few Canon lenses, you can still use those if you've got a lower model. But yeah, like I said to you, it's like I'm in manual mode. There's a little dot there to say which mode you're in. What I like about this camera, what I find most satisfying, is the grip and the quality and the hold and the build quality and the durability of this camera. You know, it's like a tank. It's built like a tank. It's very solid. I've taken photographs in bad weather, in good weather. It's been knocked around a little bit. I'll be honest with you, this particular one's, but you can see there's lots of scuffs on it here. There's a scuff on it there. There's a few scuffs on it here as well. The buttons look a little bit sort of damaged as well. So it has been used immensely, and it's gone through all the tribulations of a DSLR camera. And I think, you know, it's a bit like an old German car. It's built like a tank, and it keeps going. So if you're looking to get a second-hand camera, I would say nowadays, and you're not looking to spend no more than 300-400 quid, I would strongly suggest this Canon 7D if you can get a second-hand one. On various websites, like for example, I bought a second-hand camera like this from Wex.com, which is a UK based website where you can purchase cameras second-hand, and it gives you a ratio of how good or how bad they are in terms of you know, like quality of usage, for example. So yeah, definitely worth getting. This uses a compact flash. So your compact flash goes in there, you plug it in, and you're ready to go. It's got your auto mode, which is that one. Then your creative auto, so it gives you, you know, like you can sort of control the depth of field. You got program mode, aperture and shutter mode, manual mode, bulb mode. So but if you're doing slow shutter, well, you're doing like light drawings and things like that, for example, you might put it in bulb mode. And then you got creative auto 1, 2, and 3. So these are programmable modes that you can set. These are basically, if you like, for example, you're a studio photographer and you know your settings, you do the same thing every day, day in, day out, and you know you're going to do like 3, 4 multiple things. Maybe you're a school photographer, maybe you shoot portraits. Then you don't need to faff around all the settings. You just set them up and you're ready to go every single time you go. You don't need to faff around all this stuff. You might have the same light setup. You might have the same you know, you might have a Rembrandt light set up, for example, and you know you've got it all set up perfectly, and you just want to you know, hold the settings down, just put in creative auto and save those. And every time you go into your shoot, you just stick it on that. Okay, you got your camera also has, you know, the lens has autofocus, image stabilization, and you know your menus are quite straightforward. Click on Q, click on the start button, then click on Q. I'm in manual mode, and I've got my shutter, which is that one, my f-stop. Again, satisfying. This, I love this. I've never got bored of this. And this one allows me to change the aperture and shutter like so, ISO, change it back and forth. And what I find satisfying about this camera is the grip on this. So if you notice, there's a tiny little bit of grip on this, and it allows you to really hover through these elements. Okay, and you know, it's, you know, like nowadays everything's so flush and finished. I like that great grip on it, and you can sort of hover through all the various features, and it's very satisfying to go through all the various pro settings on this camera. If you're a new user, you can always put it on creative auto, and again, if you press the Q button, you can change this, you know, the depth of field, and you can also change it whether you want to shoot in RAW, so RAW Studio, JPEG is if you're just generally shooting indoors and outdoors. So it allows you to shoot those in creative auto modes. Again, if I go back to creative auto, I can have certain things again. So if I go back, click on that, I can change the tint of the picture, standard, blue tone, monochrome, black and white. So I can change the temperature of that image, shall I say. And again, you got automatic mode, total automatic mode, for those of you that don't want to faff around with the settings. And the only thing that allows you to change here is your raw and your manual mode and your burst mode. So your burst mode is if you do sports photography. No, actually it doesn't. It's just a single shot. So there you go. Q button allows you to view. You've still got a digital viewfinder, so I've got some things up here, so you can kind of see them through the viewfinder, and you can also see your focal points through the viewfinder as well, which is really, really awesome. So yeah, if I put it back in manual mode, okay, so again, very satisfying. This has got a nice grip on it, very nice to use, very simple. Very robust. When you're on location, you want to flick through things very quickly. It's very, very seamless for that kind of thing as well, which is awesome. You know, it is a camera for a photographer, and it does work extremely well. So there's my focal points. I can change my focus points. You know, you might have certain subjects in the middle, set that. Again, I go to my focus points and I can move it around like so to wherever I want it to go. And again, if I click on the Q button, if you look through there, you can see that you can view it through there. And you can also, if you hover that one there, you can also change them. So like you can see that I'm sort of changing the viewpoints, focal points. And I can just change them around through my viewfinder by holding this button down and changing that. And if you click, and you can see this says autofocus, and you can also hover this through around as well. So that's really, really useful. I do use that quite a lot. I click and just sort of hover through that. But again, you know, you can click, and you can also, like, you can see the view on there. You can see it through there as well. I think you have to come out of this, and then you can view it there, but I can change it around, so forth. So it's very satisfying, and the visual is quite seamless to look at as well. So yeah, lovely camera, folks. Canon 7D, 10 years old, this particular one. It's had a few bumps and scruffs along the way. An amazing camera. If you've got any questions, please do post. Appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. If you've got any questions, please do post. You know, we're all camera lovers. That's why we make these videos. Thanks for watching. Any questions, please do post, and I'll see you for the next one.